Hi, hello, welcome to the interview, ma'am. Today we have Dr. Lakshmi Sailaja Garu. She is a very renowned gynecologist in Hyderabad, and also she is a very renowned infertility specialist. Today we'll have very good interaction with ma'am regarding can we plan pregnancy and how to deal about the anxiety and the stress and different topics. If you have got any doubts, please ask in the comment section. Ma'am, first of all, during this pandemic, many people are having the doubt that can they plan pregnancy? Please give your
Okay.
opinion on that.
Actually, if a spontaneous pregnancy happens, it's good. For planning pregnancy, both WHO, that is World Health Organization, and ICMR, that is Indian Council for Medical Research, they advise it to be a patient's choice.
Okay.
They can plan if they want to.
Okay.
It's a patient's choice.
Ma'am, is there any additional risk for that? Because when there is a pregnancy, it means there is a repeated
Yeah,
number of visits to the hospital.
I know,
Parents
I know.
has to stay with
So
them.
that's why they say it's a patient's choice, because it is understood that if a planned pregnancy is going on, these ovulation induction protocols and repeated scannings they need to get done, and one attendant need to attend her and accompany her to the scan centers, and again they need to get back to the hospitals. And nowadays there are so many asymptomatic carriers in the public, so we don't know who are infecting us. Maybe doctors, technicians, front office health workers also might be positive, or their co-patients might be asymptomatic carriers. So all these points need to be kept in mind, that any point of time they may catch infection, but guidelines say it is always a patient's choice.
Okay. Any preterm and postterm, any complications regarding the
Yes, yes.
COVID during
In
pregnancy?
yes, 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 yes. With COVID with pregnancy, 16,700 pregnancies throughout the world were evaluated.
Okay.
And most of the times it is a mild disease they have found. Probably pregnants are young ladies. Pregnancy is a young lady issue. So that might have caused a mild infection. But WHO says that these people are in moderate risk group.
Okay.
More so if they belong to Asian ethnicity, more so if they are from socio-economically poor background, and if they have comorbidities like PIH and diabetes or any other pulmonary disease or lung disease or kidney disease, they will fall in high risk group.
Okay.
And we have seen complications in 6% of the pregnancies.
Okay.
2 complications were recorded till date. One being preterm delivery. That means lady delivers before 37 completed weeks. And second thing is premature rupture of membranes. That means lady breaks her amniotic fluid back well before 37 weeks. These 2 complications are recorded.
These are preterm.
Preterm deliveries.
Preterm. Okay.
Preterm deliveries and preterm rupture of membranes.
Okay.
They may break waters in common language. They may break waters well before labor can occur.
Okay. What about wearing mask during pregnancy? How far it
Yes,
will?
yes, yes. It's a good question. The data says acquiring an infection beyond 28 weeks of pregnancy makes the women more susceptible, and her delivery will become risky if she doesn't become asymptomatic within 4 weeks of infection. So it is better always to wear a mask if she is out of her home. At home, there is no need to wear mask unless any member of the family is infected. This
Okay.
SMS means S for sanitization, M for mask, and S for social distancing. This SMS need to be followed for coming 1 year, I feel.
Yes. How does it affect the fetus?
Pardon?
How does COVID affect the fetus?
Yes, yes. Till date, the data is coming from April, and the study has
Yes, ma'am.
ended on May 11th, 2020, in
Okay.
which they have not seen any fetal abnormalities. But we
Okay.
can't get biased with this data because those pregnancies which were recorded are not first trimester pregnancies. That means there is no data from the exposure of first 3 months.
Okay.
That data yet need to come because this is a disease of recent past.
Yeah. Okay.
So there is no clear data. But infectivity rate is 1 in 10 for the baby.
Okay.
Baby may catch COVID infection. Transplacental route, that means when the baby is inside the womb, there is a risk of catching the infection, but no such case was found. 2 instances we have seen. One is during the birth, and second one is during breastfeeding. At these 2 times, baby may catch infection. But for any baby to get affected by any infection, it should happen from day 1 of pregnancy to 14 weeks. Okay, that is first 3 months. If a lady is exposed to corona in first 14 weeks, that may affect the pregnancy, and the results we will see after 6 months from the day of infection. That means after delivery, we will come to know. As it is a disease of recent past, these 9 months coverage and data is yet to be obtained. So we aren't clear about the fetal effects, but definitely a corona positive mother may infect the newborn.
Can the pregnant ladies do traveling?
Pardon? Traveling.
Traveling.
It is not
Yeah.
it is not advisable. It is not advisable.
Okay. Ma'am. Regarding number of
Neither by bus
hospital.
nor by air.
Okay. Ma'am, regarding the number
It is
of
not
hospital
advisable to
visits.
travel.
Okay.
Regarding hospital visits, the World Health Organization says 4 visits are mandatory for the lady. 4 visits are mandatory for the lady.
Yes, ma'am.
At around 12 weeks, at 20 weeks, at 28 weeks, and at 36 weeks. 12, 20, 28, and 36 weeks. These 4 visits are mandatory, and rest of the visits are at the convenience of the patient and her obstetrician.
Okay. Sorry for the small inconvenience. So only 4 visits now.
These 4 visits are must, not only 4 visits. At 12,
Okay.
20, 28, 36 are must. Rest of the appointments need to be fixed according to the convenience of the patient and the obstetrician.
I have one more doubt regarding breastfeeding. Can you please tell in detail
Yeah.
how to do
Yes, yes.
breastfeeding? Because many
Yes,
people
yes.
are having a lot of doubts on this.
Yes, yes. Breastfeeding can be done, though it is a source of infection. Breastfeeding can be done. But if the patient is severely ill and shedding the virus, and if she is compromised with her saturations, expressed breast milk can be given to the baby by a non-infected attendant. WHO says baby can be roomed in the same room with a mechanical barrier like sheet, and a 6 feet distance need to be maintained. And if the patient is asymptomatic and the viral load is less and she is not coughing, she can wear a mask and handle the baby. But at each feeding, she need to clean the surfaces and hands with sanitizer.
Okay. Because many people will not have too many attenders. So
Then
the rooms
you
are
can
small.
rooms are small. Rooms are small. That's why ICMR says, that means the Indian guidelines say that it is the patient and doctor's convenience on one-to-one basis that we need to give advice, because it is not so easy to provide a single room, quarantine room for the mother and another room for an attendant. It is not so easy in Indian scenario. That too in poor socio-economical families, it's not very easy. So we can say that 6 feet distance and having a non-infected healthy adult attending the baby with expressed breast milk is the best way, we can say, practically speaking. So that this lady will wear a mask, sanitize her hands, and she will express the breast milk and keep in a katora or a small bottle and pass it to the attendant, so that the attendant will feed the baby. That will be more feasible in our Indian households, where we can't afford to have two different rooms or so.
Yes. Because practically speaking, many people will not have many rooms, only 2 rooms or 3 rooms.
Yes, truly. Because when we see the neonatal mortality rate in India, it is more of lack of breastfeeding that causes the neonatal deaths than these infections. Okay, baby will have malnutrition, or baby may catch infections because of alternative feeding. They won't clean the bottles properly, and the sterilization issues will be there, especially at night for the attendant to clean all those bottles and sterilize it to the maximum point, and again taking that breast milk in a clean katora or dabba and pouring it in the bottle, feeding bottle, and giving it to the baby. This is going to be a very strenuous job. If they fail to sanitize properly, if they fail to sterilize properly, baby may catch other infection other than corona and suffer that rather than corona. And in corona in the neonates is not dreadful. We didn't see any deaths till date, because their lungs are very elastic with enormous capacity of expansion. It is very rare that it will cause pneumonia in a newborn.
Okay. Now, what is the trend you are observing in, regarding the pregnancies? Have the pregnancies and deliveries have come down, or not very major change?
No. Since past 1 month, we are seeing so many pregnant ladies with corona positive. I want to say one point. When they are tested positive, they can defer their antenatal visits for 14 days. Happily, they can continue the same medication which they were using before. They needn't attend the hospital. And second thing is, this is showing a very mild disease in pregnant women who catched corona. If at all they got any severe infection, it is mostly seen in women with comorbidities and women with elderly age primates, like more than 35 years of age and poor socioeconomical status. Most of the times they are suffering pneumonias. They are not having any other thromboembotic or renal impairment situations. They are facing mostly pneumonias. Then they need to get admitted to the hospital. The benchmark is less than 94% of oxygen saturation. I'm speaking practically, because they have given some CURB criteria and all. C for confusion, and U for uremia, that is more than 19 blood urea, and R for more than 30 respiratory rate, and B for blood pressure being 90/60. These are all not practical for the woman to get monitored at home. So I'm telling in a simple word that if your pulse oximeter is showing your saturation limit below 94%, you better get admitted in a hospital and get treated.
Regarding any diet restrictions during this, or any specific diet to be taken?
No. Don't take too much of a carbohydrate or sugar-loaded food, because nowadays we are seeing elevated sugars in corona infections usually. So this will lead to another confusion, whether this lady is having pregnancy-induced diabetes or it is due to corona. So better avoid high sugar, high fat diets and oil fried foods. They can take normal diet, veg or non-veg mixed diet they can take. But it is better that it is home prepared, and every meal need to be prepared separately. Like they can't consume the food from previous night, or they can't consume the food from outside or so. Freshly prepared 3 meals, homemade 3 meals would be better.
Okay. And one more problem during the lockdown, what I observed was many small hospitals and small nursing homes, especially in the towns. The pregnant ladies, they could not get the services for delivery.
Yeah. Yes.
So they went to only government hospitals and all. Now, what is the this thing? Means, I mean, many hospitals have, I think, already started their services, especially in the lockdown. Those who
Coming
have
to this,
closed, yeah. Now I think
coming to
everyone has
this,
opened.
coming to this, Sai, before these private hospital could open and serve corona patients, there were guidelines from Telangana government that only OP services, that to emergency OP services were allowed, and no COVID patient was supposed to be treated by private sectors. You know that. Later
Yeah,
on,
yeah.
they gave permission to the private sectors.
Yes.
Okay. Then it became inevitable for the COVID positive mothers to go to Gandhi Hospital or King Koti or Sultan Bazar because only public hospitals catered the services. When the government gave permission for IP services for corona patients, then all the bigger hospitals have opened. Since past 15 days, we are seeing a upward curve and so many pregnant mothers are getting infected. So obviously, some asymptomatic carriers or COVID recoverers are getting treated at a private setups knowingly or unknowingly. And now so many mid-sector hospitals have turned their services to COVID positive mothers also. They are advising, they are advertising that they are doing COVID services.
Yes.
But ICMR says at least for elective deliveries, elective surgeries, it is mandatory that a RT-PCR is done to the pregnant mothers so that the person, the attendant, and the doctor and caregivers are aware of the COVID status. It's a mandate now. Though it is a highly false positive, false negative rate is there for RT-PCR, they are telling RT-PCR is best according to the government. But the doctors feel that HRCT is best to diagnose.
Yes.
And that too high risk pregnancies we never know when the case turns to be a surgical case and when we need to give general anesthesia, we don't know. Okay. Suddenly, if the patient won't progress and she demands for a general anesthesia, there the risk is threefold, fourfold for the anesthetist and anesthetist associated technicians. So it is always better for the women to get a RT-PCR done. And I feel for the doctors, if they have antigen and antibody kits, in emergency they can help the patients by doing that. But our government isn't allowing for the small mid-sector hospitals to do these tests on their own. Only certain laboratories are authenticated to do it.
One more thing, as the days are progressing from March, now it is August ending. Do you see any increase in curve of number of pregnants coming to hospital?
More number of pregnancies with COVID we are getting now. There can be two things in this, Sai. One is maybe along with the family members, along with the rise in the curve of normal people, even there can be a upward curve in pregnancies. And second, the thing is, so many hospitals, so many diagnostic centers are now open for RT-PCR. So number of testings have become more. So that maybe number of pregnant patients are being picked up.
Yeah. Sir, ma'am, one question which is not at all related to COVID, I just want to ask. Many health ministers or the governments, they in every meeting they blame doctors for increased number of cesarean sections during now when compared to 20-30 years back.
Acha, this is a general question other than COVID.
Yeah. So what they tell is,
Okay.
they tell
Okay.
when compared to 20-30 years back, now the percentage of cesarean sections is more.
Acha, you are putting a question that why the cesarean section rate is more now?
Yeah.
That is your question. Is it
Yes,
so?
ma'am. Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
So
let me.
as a doctor, okay, even I have one answer for that. My answer is 20-30 years back, patients are also they have got that hearing capacity. They listen the doctor's words. Now what happens is, especially the educated people, they are not tolerating the pains, or they read more about this in the Google. They are requesting the doctors for planned pregnancy. That is what I feel. So what is your opinion on this, man? Because many of my friends who are doctors, they went for a planned
Elective
C-section.
cesarean. Okay,
Yeah,
fine.
I mean elective cesarean. So
Okay, but one thing I want to say in this context, other than medical terms, people are not aware of maternal mortality rate and neonatal mortality rate, which was there 30 years back, right? That
yeah,
means those maternal deaths and those neonatal deaths were purely because of lack of cesarean sections at proper time.
okay,
Okay. So now the maternal mortality rate as well as neonatal mortality rate has come down so much in India. One of the rescuing factor is cesarean section. Okay. And second thing is comorbidities in pregnancies have enormously increased. Do you see any of our mother age group or our grandmother age group suffering a gestational diabetes or pregnancy induced hypertension in those days, 30 years, 60 years back? No. Their BMI was well, they were less stressful, they were not obese, they were physically
yeah,
active, they were well hydrated, well nourished. Okay. And they were young mothers, like properly between 18 to 22 years, they might have finished pregnancies. Now we are getting all obese patients, hypertensive patients, hypothyroid patients, elderly patients. First
yes,
pregnancies being recorded at 33 years and 35 years. And precious pregnancies, like they conceive with IVF, they won't at all be convinced for a normal vaginal delivery. That is one reason. And third reason is accessibility to the health services.
yes,
Before 30 to 40, before 30 to 40 years back, we have seen so many tribal women, Dalit women were troubled during deliveries. They used to die. They used to have PPHs. They used to reach the hospitals post-delivery, suffer for 2 to 3 days. And now so many health facilities are there. So
yes,
maybe those pregnancies are attended in time, and cesarean sections are done, and both mothers and fetuses are rescued. And one more bigger factor is nowadays women, they themselves want muhurtam sections. If I refuse for muhurtam section, they will run away to another hospital and get it done. They don't
yes,
want labor pains. And now
yeah,
their mothers, their husbands are so sensitive for the women, they themselves will say, I don't want my child to suffer. I don't want my wife to suffer.
yes.
So many
So
factors are there.
yeah,
Neither the patients are at blame nor the doctors.
yes. So thank you so much, ma'am, for joining us live. Once again, so many thanks. We shall
Thank
catch
you for having
next
me.
time. Thanks,
Yeah.
ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me, Sai. Bye.
Thanks.